Good morning, dear students. Now we see Standard 6, Unit 1, Magnetism. Now we see about the discovery of magnets. About 2500 years back, in a place named Magnesia in Greek, Magnus was rearing his goats. And oh, what is this? His iron capped stake stuck on the rock and stood erect. The entire village assembled there and wondered. Definitely, this is a magical rock. No, some other reactions might be there. This is the magnificent power of God. People wondered about this incident. Each and everyone compressed their views. What might be the reason for the stick to get stuck on the rock? Yes, you are right. That is a magnetic rock. People found it attracting not only for the stick of Magnus but also for all the materials made of iron. The more rocks of these kinds were found worldwide. These magnetic rocks were named magnets, and the ore is called as magnetite after the name of the boy Magnus. The name is also supposed to come after the name of the place Magnesia in which it was found. Magnetite was the ore with the attracting property found in that region. Magnetites are natural magnets. They are called magnetite stones. Natural magnets do not have a definite shape. Since they are used for finding direction, they are also called leading stones or lodestones. Now let me see about the magnet of different shapes. After learning the method of changing the piece of iron into magnet, we have been making and using several kinds of magnets. Such man-made magnets are called artificial magnets. Now we see some of the artificial magnets that are bore magnet, horseshoe magnet, ring magnet, needle magnet, oval shaped magnet, disc shaped magnet, and cylindrical shaped magnet. Now we see about the magnetic and non-magnetic materials. Substances which are attracted by magnet are called magnetic substances. For example, iron, cobalt, nickel. Substances which are not attracted by magnet are called non-magnetic substances. For example, paper, plastic. Now we see about the magnetic poles. Place iron fillings on paper. Place a bar magnet horizontally in the fillings and turn it over a few times. Now lift the magnet. What do you see? Which part of the magnet has more iron fillings sticking to it? Which part of the magnet has almost no fillings sticking to it? The parts of the magnet, those attract the largest amount of iron fillings, are called as its poles. The attractive force of the magnet is very large near to the two ends. These two ends are called its poles. Now we see about the finding directions with the magnet. Tie a piece of thread to the center of a bar magnet and suspend it. Note in which direction the magnet stops. Draw a line on a sheet of cardboard or the table along the direction in which the bar magnet stops. Turn the magnet gently and let it come to stop again. Repeat it 3 or 4 times. This is roughly the north-south direction. The end of the magnet that points to the north is called North Pole. The end that points to the south is called South Pole. A freely suspended magnet always comes to rest in north-south direction. Now we see about the magnetic compass. A compass is an instrument which is used to find directions. It is mostly used in ships and airplanes. As a rule, mountaineers also carry a compass with them so that they do not lose their way in unknown places. The compass has a magnetic needle that can rotate easily. The marked end of the needle is the north pole of the magnet. Let us know about the do magnets lose their properties when magnets lose their properties if they are heated or dropped down from a height or hit with hammer. And we see about the storage of magnets. Improper storage can also cause magnets to lose their properties. To keep them safe, bar magnets should be kept in pairs with their unlike poles on the same side. They must be separated by a piece of wood, and two pieces of soft iron should be placed across their ends. For a harsh magnet, a single piece of soft iron can be used as a magnetic keeper across the poles. We see about the usage of magnets. We use various equipments with magnets in day-to-day life. In speakers, in small electric motors, in some door locks, bags, in some toys, in compasses, in pencil boxes, stickers on refrigerators, phone covers, pin holders, magnetic ring. In these, the magnets were used. Now we see how does the electromagnetic train work. Electromagnets are used in electromagnetic train. Electromagnets are magnetized only when current flows through them. When the direction of current is changed, the poles of the electromagnets are also changed. Like poles of the magnets which are attached to the bottom of the train and rail track repel each other. So the train is lifted from the track up to a height of 10 centimeter. This train also moves with the help of a magnet attached on the sides of the track and the magnet fitted at the bottom sideway of the train. By controlling the current, we can control the magnets and movement of the train. As there are no moving parts, there is no friction. So the train can easily attain a speed of 300 km per hour. These trains are capable of running up to 600 km per hour. They do not make any noise. They require less energy and they are eco-friendly. Thank you, students.